What is it? Can you hear that? Like there's like a ruckus going around outside or something. Like, oh, it's because of all the bullshit! Gameoverse is the newest glitch production show. Of course, you can't have something new without an immediate flood of just bitching.
Look at these bitches. Bitches with nothing.
Before I get into the show, let me talk about the controversy. So the controversy is basically people are saying that the new show is sexist and goonerbait because it depicts the female characters as very similar in terms of design and also being in swimsuits for the whole episode. And then, you have the people arguing against that who are like, they're at the beach. It makes sense they're wearing swimsuits, you dumbass. The simple fact of the matter is, if you have engaged in this conversation in a genuinely serious and unironic manner, you have lost. It's just dumb. It doesn't matter. First of all, for the people saying that there's no way in hell that this could be fan service material in any way, shape, or form, it's kind of naive. Because, yes, there are tons and tons of forms of media that specifically place characters at the beach purely to sexualize them. It's a very common thing, especially in the world of animation. However, I do not think that's the case for this show. It's not like they're running around with fucking big jiggly titties fucking bouncing around, slapping each other back and forth, and they're fucking ass clapping with the might of Thor. Right? It's all just, they're just in a swimsuit. There's nothing sexual or scandalous about it, really. Aside from maybe one shot where a character gets bounded. You can pretty much completely disprove the entire goonerbait argument just by using basic fucking logic. They wanted to make the first episode's world be in a place that has water because they had a dolphin character and a shark character design that they wanted to utilize. And they put the female characters in swimsuits because they are underwater and are humanoid. And they did not put the male characters in swimsuits because they are always naked. It really is that simple. And even if they were put in normal athletic swimsuits, people would still be bitching about it being overly sexualized. Or in that case, they would be bitching because it wasn't sexualized enough. So in other words, once again, there's just no winning. And now here I am engaging with this fucking conversation in this semi-serious matter. God damn it, I'm a loser too. I lost too. God damn it. But no, it's just an incredibly silly thing to get mad about. It's an incredibly stupid conversation. So anyways, the show. Okay, before I talk about I guess I am talking about the show now, but there's another controversial criticism that I need to talk about. The voice acting. This one's really weird because the voice acting is honestly pretty good. It's not the best voice acting I've ever heard, but it is solid. Everybody is doing a pretty decent job. But apparently there's a lot of people just saying that it's awful voice acting, and that's just very bizarre to me. I don't see it at all. Everybody feels like they are giving a competent performance. There's no one who feels like they are bad in the episode. Everyone is generally pretty emotive with their voice. They have a lot of range throughout the episode. I think pretty much all of the characters in the episode get in some shape or form a moment in which they can demonstrate their vocal range, from being super over the top to more laid down and grounded.
If you're having trouble, shoot where they're going instead of where they are. If you're having trouble,
I know! Holy crap, I did it! I got him! Yeah!
Have you seen a little shiny sea urchin around with little legs and arms and a big urchin eye? And he's a dick?
My issue with it would be the voice itself. I don't like Gobble's voice.
Shouldn't we try to find out who the hero is?
He sounds like a fucking chain smoker. I'm sorry. It bothers me. As the episode went on, it bothered me less and less, but I don't know, man.
Meow, it gobbles.
This also isn't an issue with the show, but whenever I hear the name Gobbles, all I can think of is fucking Timmy's dumb turkey from South Park.
What the hell is that? It's a turkey. His name is Gobbles.
Garage!
Jay Schlatt did a pretty good job. I will say, if that was a complaint someone had where they were just like, yeah, I personally couldn't get past the fact that that was Jay Schlatt's voice, I can understand that. He was doing a good job, but that is also Jay Schlatt. Like, I know that guy. Like, I know his voice. So when I hear that, I just think of Jay Schlatt.
Do you know Hickory Dickory Dock?
Can you hickory dickory shut the hell up?
That's not really his fault, but I just hear Schlatt. He was still a really enjoyable presence in the show.
Unless you can get the textile density on some of these assets to match the scale topography by freeing up some resources, much faster than it would take to pre-bake with different LODs because we are out of time on that option.
But yeah, I think the voice acting is decent. I don't see an issue with it. I think everybody did a pretty solid job. The animation is also really great. They did a good job. It looks really good. There's a lot of really, funny looking derpy-ish moments that I really enjoyed. From a technical perspective, I think the show is pretty sound. I don't really have any issues in that aspect. However, though, if I am to say how I genuinely felt about the show, though, it was okay. I didn't particularly care about anything that was going on, I think there were some instances of decent writing. I liked how they would unveil the information of how the rules work, Characters wouldn't just blatantly explain shit that other characters didn't already know, right? Like, the only time they really have, like, a direct exposition scene, it is to Gobbles, who is the newer character for those characters, and he is directly used as a way to convey that information for the audience, so that's fine. I liked how they communicated the whole rule of if you tell the game character that the world is gonna fucking die, then the game will lock up and freeze, and there'll be like some fucking god lights that come down and search for outside game character presence and just like terminate them. That was pretty cool. I like that. So the way the show would deliver its exposition was pretty decent. I think they did a good job. In terms of like the writing to get me like kind of into these characters and really invested in them, I didn't. It didn't hit for me, unfortunately. I didn't really care about Kit's world getting destroyed. I didn't really care about her whole trauma. I felt they presented that in a pretty lame way. Like that whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm in a similar looking area to my old home and now I'm having the PTSD flash where it's like, wow, oh my god, the parallel. And not only is that something that has just been done to death and no longer has any form of impact to me whatsoever, but it's also one of those things where I just prefer the implication. To me, it's better to have a callback shot than just flash with your dead family, Like, it can be effective in some instances, absolutely. I'm not saying that you can't make that effective, but I don't think the show did for me. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this 100 times before. Yep. I did like the characters at the very least. I wasn't like disliking anyone or anything. Nothing annoyed me or anything, I thought everyone was at least like decently entertaining or fun, but I just didn't really care all too much what would happen to any of them, I also felt the episode had a bit of tonal whiplash. Well, maybe not quite tonal whiplash, because I wasn't like watching it and then like the tone shifting and suddenly I was breaking my fucking neck or anything like that. It was more so just like, right? It was just like I'd be watching it, it'd be like kind of goofy and comedic. Suddenly the tone would just shift to be more dramatic. And I think that's another instance of why this show kind of failed to emotionally captivate me in any way, is because when you have those sudden shifts, usually it doesn't really work for me either. I don't think it's something that I really like. The only instance of a strong tone shift like that I can think of that I really liked was in like Mulan. They're all singing and everyone's like, girl, we're fighting for... And then suddenly they like see fucking insane devastation of war. It worked more there because not only was it like the only time it happens, but it was also very deliberate. This one kind of just feels like it was a little unintentional. Like they needed to communicate those emotions, but they had to do it in like a certain time frame or something, and they couldn't get it flowing as naturally, or maybe they didn't really think about getting it flowing as naturally. you know, which is fine. You know, that's okay. You can make mistakes like that. It's okay. They could easily fix like any of these issues for future episodes or future things in the show. Even though I wasn't really like super captivated by this first episode, I think it did a good job establishing what it is. It did a good job, you know, highlighting the personalities of the characters that they have, and did a good job at being just decent enough fun. You know, it was a decent time. When I was watching it, I felt my opinions were a bit more strong on everything that I was thinking about as I was like, you know, actually consuming it. But as I'm sitting here and talking about it, I'm realizing that I don't really have too strong of a feelings. Jesus Christ. I need to go back to school, man. Holy shit, my English is just deteriorating every single fucking day. It's insane how fucking stupid I am. I felt much more strongly about it while watching it, but as I'm sitting here and just kind of thinking about it, I'm just like, yeah, it was decent fun. And I think it can lead to a good show. So yeah, watch it. I think you will most likely like it. Yeah, leave a like and subscribe. Tell me what you thought about Gameoverse. I'm curious to see what the general public's opinion on it is, and not just the insane people. And have yourself a good day. Bye.